Hello, welcome to Healthy Us, where we talk about everything public health related and more. My name is Enrique DeAnda from Cameron County Public Health, and today I will be talking to Cameron County Judge Eddie Trevino Jr. about his upcoming vision for the new year. Judge Eddie Trevino, should I call you re-elect? I think it's important that we actually incorporate that a little bit because that means they gave you a go around and decided to bring you back. So I'm kind of curious to see, what are your big plans for anything coming up?
Well, hopefully, first of all, to avoid another global pandemic in the next 4 years. We didn't realize how much time it took out of this last 4 years, even though it's been 2.5 years, going on 3 in March, right? But we started hearing about this in January 2020 timeframe. So that would have been a year into my first full term, my third year. And I hope that we don't have something like that taking up all of our attention and resources and having so many people's lives at risks. But life has its own plans for each and every one of us. In this particular instance, we were all thrown into the mix together to fight it out and hopefully succeed and come out of it the other end. So, these next 4 years, I think hopefully we'll fine-tune some of the things we learned with regards to how we interact with the public from a vaccine standpoint. That's become an issue. People who don't believe or don't think that vaccines are needed. So these are, in my mind, or my opinion, not political issues. These are public health issues. We've been getting vaccinated, since we were kids, and we started getting vaccinated in order to eradicate illness, especially from children. Polio,
Exactly.
Obviously measles, rubella, all of these vaccinations that we give to our kids, we didn't think twice because we knew they worked. Every once in a while there may have been a reaction, but that's for all medicine. Medicine is an inexact science, but for the most part, it works on it, it works at it. And, I've learned a lot in the 6 years that I've been county judge. And I'm looking forward to what the next 4 years hold.
Well, I think after 2020, I think we can pretty much handle anything. I was thinking about what you're saying right now, and it's true with measles and all these other things, is people were always like so quick to say, well, we've never had to deal with something like this. Well, we personally know, but as people, as human beings, we've dealt with these illnesses. And it's our ability to adapt and overcome and face these situations head on. And I think everybody that works here has dealt with these issues, and I think we all handled it great. So, I think whatever comes up next, we'll be a little more prepared because of what we've already experienced.
And let me get this out before I forget. I know that our public health department here in Cameron County is second to none. I already knew it beforehand. We had a few urgent situations, emergency situations, but COVID-19 just confirmed and solidified the leadership that Esmer and all of you at the health department and the resources, the unique skills, the commitment to public health and safety for the people and residents of Cameron County was solidified and confirmed as a result of the pandemic. The flu season this year has been extremely, I think it must have felt a little ignored or neglected over the last several years because it's come back with a vengeance. And that's been our issue. But again, we have the flu vaccine, so it minimizes one's exposure or reaction to it. But I've learned a lot from Esmer and her staff, and I continue to know what I don't know. And when it comes to public health and safety, I rely on her, and I'm glad to follow her lead and direction. Obviously, at the end of the day, I end up having to make the decisions, but she's always and all of you guys have always given me great information. So, but I think it'd be silly for us not to be preparing as health professionals for that possibility, and we need to learn from this. I always make a joke that when all this started, I kept looking around my desk at Dancy looking for the, Pandemics for Dummies, and I couldn't find the darn book. And I said, what the heck am I going to do? You can find a dummies book for just about anything, how to put a gym together, how to put a garden together, how to build a, but I couldn't find one for how to deal with the pandemic.
Like the 1850 edition or something.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting that you said that, because exactly what we said worked is the same thing that's worked since biblical age, i.e. mouth coverings, covering up, and not spreading.
Well, those actually were in the Bible. They were actually written in there because it worked then, and it still works now. Honestly, you mentioned monkeypox, and I remember everybody freaking out, and everybody, oh no, here we go again. Here's the next big thing. I think we learned, and I mean, that's great, because that's what keeps us going is, again, adapting. It's like you're saying, as long as we can adapt, as long as we can, go with the time, listen to the science, and, at the end of the day, is that we're here to help, and we're trying to do, what's best for everyone. So we're trying to come up with the best ideas and the best science. But at the same time, it's like we're people too. So we have to react to these things just like everyone else. So I think a great advantage, again, you touched base on with Esmer and with the team is that you let her do what she has to do to get her job done, just the way she lets us do what we have to do to get our job done in communications and in being able to reach people, to make it easier for everyone to understand. So I think that's really important.
I think the mark of a good leader is making sure that they've got great leaders around them, and letting them do their jobs, letting them show their skills, because I'm not the type of individual that's got to have, absolute control and I got to know, no, I don't have time. I've got enough on my plate, and I'm lucky that I've got so many qualified individuals around me at county administration, county departments, that I can rely on. As county judge, some people may think it's just you go to the meeting every 2 weeks and that's it. But that's not how I do it. When the health administrator or the engineer or the courts or, a constable, whoever needs particular help, HR, purchasing, the auditing, the county clerk, the district clerks, if they've got an issue or a project or, whatever, they come to me and ask for my help. I get other people obviously involved and engaged, but oftentimes they want to see me there or engaged as best I can. People calling with a concern or an issue. It's hard to be able to answer them all myself, but I make sure that somebody tries to get back to these people. And if we can help them, we try, and if we can't, we let them know why. So I mean, you have to be able to walk and chew gum, I think, in order to really do this job well. I've been committed to it for 6 years, and thank God now I get to be committed to it for another 4 years. So I'm excited and thankful for that.
Well, I mean, the people spoke, and you were reelected, so that's always a good thing. And obviously, everybody makes this pledge, New Year's. But do you have any specific resolutions for the coming year?
Yeah, I definitely got to get healthier. I used to take my dog out walking regularly, and I've noticed a definite gain in weight and energy and sleep. And I'm definitely going to try to eat and live a healthier life, because I'm realizing I'm not getting any younger, and also, as a better example, to anybody else, each of us should do what we can to make sure that we take care of ourselves, which was kind of the point of the pandemic. Don't you want to live longer? And some people put themselves at risk. They don't. When my time is going to come, it's going to come. Well, I'm like, yeah, but if you don't, if you're doing all the things that put you more at risk,
right?
And then we would learn these stories about this individual who was in tip-top shape.
Yeah.
And may have even gotten vaccinated or whatever. And they still, my mom, who's in her 80s, and her brothers and sisters are all in their 80s, they've been very diligent about, taking care of themselves. And I'm sure, if they're doing that, well, everybody else should want to do that, because they want to live as much as they possibly can. So regardless of your age, life is not guaranteed, and we know that there are risks out there. But if you do those things that help minimize or prevent those risks, don't be jumping out of a building without a rope, so to speak, or jumping out of a plane without a parachute. If you do that, well, you're not taking the proper precautions, and that's kind of dealing how you deal with your health. If you've got a pre-existing condition diabetes or hypertension or whatever, and you're not taking your medicine and you're not exercising and you're not eating well and you're not sleeping and you're doing all the things you're not supposed to do, well, what do you expect? And you know what? Each of us has loved ones. And sometimes if you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for them, which was a constant message during the pandemic.
Right. Even with that mentality, it's just in general, I think, like everybody makes a resolution, but I think some people take it too extreme and then it becomes unattainable and then they get discouraged. It's like because they want that cut body. They want to be shredded. They want to be thin. Mm-hmm. It's just be healthy. Just take care of yourself. Make it a point to go get your annual checkup. Make sure your blood pressure's fine. Your cholesterol's fine. I mean, I got family history. I got diabetes and cancer on both sides. So it's like I got to make sure that I stay on top of things because I never know. Mm-hmm. I got kids. They got to count on me for everything. So it's like just that level of responsibility should be a simple enough message for people to understand. It's about taking care of yourself.
If we take it all just one day at a time, things are so much easier to accomplish. And sometimes we become overwhelmed by trying to do the big picture thing. I'm going to lose 30 pounds. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get a new job that's going to pay me all this, or I'm going to find, whatever it may be I want to wish everyone success in that. But if we also put a little bit of we in me, exactly, as opposed to I'm just going to do this. No. Use your efforts, use your talents to help your community. Give a little bit more. I guarantee you, we can't change the world, but I know that we can change Cameron County. And if we can be the example by showing our friends and neighbors a little bit more love, a little bit more friendship, a little bit more understanding. Get involved, get engaged, be positive. That's really, it's easy to get bogged down. It's easy to get potentially in a bad state of mind because of all the problems that we see in the world, the politics, the wars, the pandemic, inflation. All of these are major issues. I'm not discounting them, but if you focus, and I thought that the pandemic should have helped us do that. Being locked, being stuck at home for more extended periods of time should have made us realize, and hearing about people losing their lives all over the world. I mean, we lost over 1 million Americans, over 2,300 here in Cameron County. It's something that we've got to live with. But if we just focus on the here and now and doing a little bit at a time on the positive stuff, we can have a better community. A community is a reflection of its individuals. So if you've got a lot of individuals sending out that negative energy, it's okay to complain. It's all right because everybody's got problems. But I guarantee you there's somebody out there, and probably a lot closer than you realize, who's got bigger problems to deal with. And when you do that, you realize, hey, mine, it's not so bad. Maybe I can help. So, we can all focus on being a little bit more positive and carry that over into the new year so that it becomes part of our daily ritual, which is just smile. Help somebody, give a handout, help somebody up. You never know when you're smiling at that person or saying hello or greeting somebody or calling an old friend. Maybe that little gesture, that little act of kindness might be enough to prevent somebody from doing something bad or making a wrong decision that could have a big, impact. You never know what other people are going through. So it doesn't cost us anything, zero, not a penny, to be nice to one another. And in this day and age, with so many of the issues, politics, etc., disagreements over everything, if we were to try a little harder to be understanding of somebody else, I know this place would be a better place in which to live. We can't control the world. We can't control the state, can't control the country, but we can do our part in our neck of the woods. And we did it. We came together during the pandemic. So let's not lose sight of what we can accomplish together. So I guess that'd be my parting message.
That's a great message. It's pretty exciting to see where things are going and things are moving. And I think that's pretty much a wrap. I think I want to thank the judge here for blessing us with his words and his time. And to everyone listening, tune in next time for another great episode of Healthy Yes.